Welcome back, Kingsman, to another NTW3 battle. Today, we have some very not commonly played cores in a clan battle. This one will be between the Rhinebund and RC clan, and they are going to be taking the Finnish war cores, so Russia versus Sweden, and they're going to be on the map of Bladensburg. Looks like already we have some Russians. Kaminsky, the 6-pointer, getting pressured by Sweden. Now, the deployment on this map, guys, very interesting. The Swedish cores form pretty close to this area, and then one Russia starts right here, which he already started marching down. The next Russia is here, then two in the back, one of them being Denmark, one of them being the other Russian corps. Now, I think this was a very tactical, very thought-out decision to fall back to this next layer of defenses. There's no point in dying up here. In fact, every time I've seen this map played, they always fall back to this perfectly well-defended position here. And you can see already Russia started in a decently deployed area. He has artillery set up. It's like the Russians are just waiting. It's the Swedish, or as I call them, the Rhinebund clan, who's going to have to make the actual initiative to push and attack here. So, without further ado, let's go. Oh, excuse me, man. I got the hiccups. Let's go over the cores before I die of hiccups or the battle starts here. So you can see on the coalition side, which is the Swedish side, the Rhinebund side, you have a 9-point Alderkreutz, and I apologize, I'm probably going to butcher a lot of these names. Now, 4-point Moore, who's a British. You have an 8-point Dublin, and then a 7-point Klingspor. On the Russian side, which is the RC side, you have a 6-point Kaminsky, a 10-point Buxhausen, a 8-point Kolonov, and a 4-point Hessen Kassel, which is the Denmark corps. Now, both corps, out of both corps, the 4-pointer on each side, the Denmark corps is much smaller by 300 men. And overall, the Swedish, I do believe, now they don't actually outnumber. It's pretty even. The numbers are pretty even on both sides. So it's gonna make for a very interesting fight. This one was recommended by one of the people that played in it. Said there was a lot of amazing maneuvering and very strategic fighting. These are both well-known clans. They definitely provided some excellent replays in the past, so I don't expect anything but the best. I'm just kidding. I don't expect the best, but I expect a very good battle to unfold here, as both sides are gonna be, you know, they're both coordinating with each other, probably in a VC together, talking over their plans. Now, we do have the British Army here. You can see pushing up on this far left side as the 10-pointer is throwing up his cavalry to scout out here. Howitzers are already crashing into this first advancing Swedish line. And of course, you have Kaminsky making the first hold here on the left. I expect to see a lot more reinforcements shifting over in this direction. He does have his musketeers, I do believe grenadiers as well, to hold this town and make it a little bit easier for him to hold. He has some skirmishers thrown out in front, as well as I do believe an artillery piece, which he is setting up. 2 guns. Now, if he can just defend them against cavalry, he'll be fine. He does have only 1 Gassari over here, so I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there. This, I believe, is a howitzer that has been firing over these buildings in a decently safe position. This is interesting because I think all the Swedish players are over here. So I don't know why this 10-pointer is for the most part over on the right-hand side instead of being over here on the left. But you can see already a big push. Sweden really pressuring with their dragoons. I believe these are dragoons, maybe they're heavies. But they're really trying to pressure here. Ooh, a nice shot when we killed 1 or 2 cavalry units, but still. This is a lot of forces for one Russia to try to face off with. So I'm surprised they are, you know, letting him take it. But then again, Sweden, or Denmark is almost there. Build the reinforced force artillery pushing up, has some good cavalry, excellent cavalry actually, in my opinion. Artillery is going to help throw back any Swedish advance. He does have the buildings, like I said. And of course, more infantry pushing up. Now, I think they want to hold the entirety of this line. And if you do take note, this is one of those newer maps with a newer game mode where you have to connect from the roads going out of the map have to be connected to all the LOCs. So if they want to hold this one, they have to hold the entirety of this line so as to not lose this pointer right here. And then, of course, if they just hold this one and then roll down this hill or down this road to hold the rest of them, they'll be totally fine. Now there's a 4, 7, 8 on the Swedish side that they've taken. So, you know, I think the Russians still have the advantage for now. But I do believe we have yet to see the actual grunt or the actual Swedish force. The majority of them is still probably getting into position. It does appear that they are pushing around the flank, the left flank, which I expect Denmark... Where are they? Where's the bulk of their army? Did they just bring like cavalry and artillery? Interesting. But they probably are going to try their best to defend this left side. You see already trying to threaten and push back the Swedish, who are advancing in a ring around the flank here, which is why you can see Russia reacting and sending more infantry down. Now, if they are smart, Sweden's smarter than this, they'll have one of these Swedish armies rolling directly on the flank and smash into Kaminsky's right, while maybe 2 more focus down the town area. We'll see if it works out well for them in today's battle. Russia's getting plenty of chances to see how the battlefield is developing and to put troops accordingly. His artillery may be pivotal, but I suspect it will not live for too much longer. It's probably going to get focused down to a certain degree, but you can see they have some excellent field of fire here against the Russians. Oh, we have a cavalry engagement. Sweden charging in with some cavalry against some C2s. And Sweden's going to get outnumbered here. The Hussars are going to break. And the Cav, I do believe the Cav dominance definitely with the Russian alliance as of right now, which may help them out quite a bit here. But here we go, like I was saying, you have more Swedish advancing down the road in force. This is going to make this defense getting very, very tight in this one area. They're going to have multiple armies pushing in on them. And the Templar has not moved yet. Excuse me. He has some skirmishers over here, but for the most part, his army is staying put. I still think they should be shifting these reserves at least dead center here. They can react to Russia if Russia needs help. Oh my gosh. Yep. See, more and more, they're going for the flank. This is going to be a problem for Russia very quickly here. They need to react with a lot more infantry, I think, than what they have, especially as there's more and more pushing up here. The 10-pointer needs to engage with more and maybe try pressuring this Swedish advance down the road, get into this tree line and start pouring in some volleys, protect that flank. Because Sweden is about to put a lot of troops on this flank. Now you do have the 8-pointer. He is not going to be there for another 5 minutes, and a lot can happen in 5 minutes. Of course, Sweden is still getting his infantry into position, but they should be into position and advancing much sooner than Russia will get reinforcements up to the front. Or this battle seems a little, I mean, it's not going at high tilt yet, but it's getting up there. It's starting to heat up, definitely. We have more and more infantry here. It's crazy to see like no French on the battlefield. It's kind of cool when you can do that, you know? Like away from the base game, it's like a entirely French-free engagement. Just Russian, Swedish, some British and Denmark lines. Now that's a pretty solid advance from Sweden. And I think the Russians is very delayed to reinforce. Now, like I said, nothing has happened yet. Russia is not losing here yet. They are not. So I want to specify, I'm not saying, oh, they're losing, they're bad, they're not doing well. They are definitely delaying the Swedish advance a little bit at least, but Sweden is quickly piling up numbers of infantry here. It's going to make it very difficult, and I don't think this British force merits a 10-pointer. I mean, it's a 4-pointer. It doesn't merit an entire 10-pointer defending it. That's just my thoughts. We will see. We will see. You know, I'm not there for the VC, so we don't know what their plan is. Maybe they're going to swing. Maybe they have this 10-pointer poised for a counterattack where they're going to smash through more and turn the entire Swedish flank. That could be what they're going for. And again, like I said, the 8-pointer is holding. Actually, well, he has troops already here and more reinforcements, and Sweden is not pushing extremely hard, so there may not be a need to rush reinforcements over here yet. They seem to be content to stay just out of rifle range. Maybe they're trying to deploy their lines and extend them further and further here, taking this forest, maybe push around the flank. But they're pushing their troops right into the reinforcing Russian corps. We have Denmark going in with some of their dragoons. Let's see if these guys form square. They do not. Now we're hearing the regular volleys. Sweden has engaged in the center. And Russia is outnumbered, but they have not really broken anywhere yet, so you know they're holding. Now here it's gonna start. It looks like it's gonna probably start telling. Now this canister, this artillery piece, definitely could really start putting in some damage. But there's reserves here. Kaminsky has his reserves. The 10-pointer has shifted more of his core. Russia's looking a lot more secure than they were, especially with the 8-pointer pushing in here, potentially gonna actually turn the Swedish flank. But look at this huge battle line, guys. Artillery here from Denmark tearing up this light infantry. And they're gonna have some fast firing for a 3-pounder, and at this range it will start telling. Oh, okay, they didn't miss that one. But yeah, look at this line of attack here. Russia can't stand against so many units firing at them. The firepower is obviously with Sweden right now. And more has not even begun to fight. Artillery is actually shifting over. Some 12-pounders sit right here, strategically placed. Or even, oh, we have actually a, ooh. Oh, they're more howitzers. Okay. Well, I was gonna say, artillery place right here, firing in here is gonna definitely help. Now, you notice Russia is actually pulling back towards the buildings, using it as a little more protection here. Howitzers going in. Where are they firing? They going for some horses. I honestly have my doubts. Does howitzers actually do effective fire? You know, are they actually that effective at destroying the enemy? Either way, look at this. This is how you use horse artillery, guys. Running them around, firing into the flank of the enemy, then limbering them up, running them somewhere else, firing, and constantly bothering the enemy. Constantly harassing them. I'm really keeping an eye on this 8-pointer as well. They are pushing around the flank and to threaten this Swedish advance. You see Sweden's actually pulling back, disengaging from this right-hand side, but they are leading into the assault here in the center. This 12-pounder has 9 men left. It probably will not last much longer. Under concentrated infantry fire and skirmisher fire, they are shifting some of their infantry back. I feel like they could pull back a little bit more using the buildings, even the LOC, to support their defense. Either way, we have artillery pushing up. That will be able to help hold this line back. Thank you for some interesting maneuvering so far. As you have more. Ooh, yep, here we go. So maybe this was their plan all along, guys. The 10-pointer is pushing on more. LC is taken in the center. Some grenadiers. They are calling a retreat. Once this artillery is dead, they have called this retreat, and now they're going to try to use the LOC to help them out. Artillery strategically placed just in the nick of time. As the Swedish crest this hill, they're going to come under concentrated, concentrated 12-pounder round shot, and potentially canister if they get too close. So that's going to help support this defense even more. I'm definitely keeping an eye. Like I said, we got to keep an eye on this 8-pointer. Russia making a grand push here on the left. Sweden is actually in retreat here, and it's actually easing off this assault everywhere else. You can see Sweden actually is content to pull back now. They are not going to push into this town. Maybe that's somewhat due to more getting pushed by the Russia 10-pointer, who is pushing with a lot more cav than I think the British have. 3 cavalry units at least, no, 4. Some Kazakis. What's this? Some Lancers, looks like some Guard Lancers, some Dragoons. I'm sure they form square, but still, they do not want to probably take this fight against the 10-pointer. Sweden's going to have to try to rush to their aid. And now it may be the Russians' turn to actually make a counterattack, as they now have some momentum here. But it does appear that they are going to pull back to the center. Now, they do have LOC. Right now, I do believe the Russians have the LOC advantage. And they're going to try to keep it that way, or they're not going to push out. Now, potentially, Russia is going to attack here. I don't know how well this is going to go. Russia could easily get kind of torn up by some... A head-on assault against the British has never been a good idea throughout all of history. Oh, look at this. They have some grasshoppers. They have, like, light infantry, 2 of them. This looks like a fun corps to play. You don't have a lot, but you have some very... If you play it just right, you can just absolutely brutalize the enemy. Some little bit of red flash in this battlefield with all the green and blue. It's kind of nice to have a difference of color. Some different uniforms here. I wonder if this is a guard unit. You know? Like, are these the Sea Guard or whatever it's called? The Life Guard. You know, the Swedish elite infantry. Alright, well, whose turn is it to make a move? Because someone has to make a move. There's no way they're going to sit here this entire battle. Now, the artillery is very, very clear that they don't want anybody pushing up this hill. And Sweden, for now at least, is going to accept that. Now, I'm surprised Sweden didn't push more troops over here and try to push in on this flank. They were doing well until the 8-pointer attacked. But, of course, I don't know how good they have the cav advantage. Like, how well supplied they are with cavalry versus Denmark, who has a lot of cavalry. I mean, there's some cavalry over here, but I don't know what percentage this is of the entire army. There's some heavy cavalry. Look at those dudes. Look like they mean business. This is definitely a lot of back and forth without fighting, just trying to get angle on them, and then when they see they don't have it, they pull back. Imagine being this close to the enemy. You can just see them. You'll probably even shout across the field to them. Yeah, that's a lot of dead Russians having defended this position. Just the aesthetic, you know, you just have random horses like rideless horses going across the field. The only thing they would need to improve this game is to have a couple of the wounded, like, trying to crawl away, you know, or, like, moving on the ground a little bit. It would just, that would probably be the icing on the cake for this cinematic look. Oh my gosh. Do they know they're shooting through their own infantry? Alright, so this is the next stage here. Sweden has just opted to bring up some of their own artillery. I'm sure they're going to start firing it into either the thick Russian lines or into the LOC to try to 50% it maybe. You have, yeah, the 8-pointer. He is going to be in a reserve capacity here, as well as in the left flank. Still waiting. Okay, yeah, here's the Swedish artillery pieces. Look at this. Multiple I see at least 4 guns here, if not more. Be for a very big artillery duel instead here, and more guns down the road. That's at least 4 guns there as well, and then 2 more. So they have a lot of guns trained on the Russian defense, plus some more over here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only a 3-gun piece, but still, that's gonna start telling. Talk about a cinematic sounding thing. Like, the thunder of artillery will never get old, in my opinion. Here from far away. Yeah, it's an artillery duel. Hear drums. Infantry may potentially moving. There they are. Some big guns. Oh man, these guys are getting just focused down, aren't they? See what I mean? Horse artillery. Probably going to start racking up kills at a certain point. And this Denmark is doing an excellent job of just scouting the enemy positions. I mean, if they can keep up scouting and know exactly where the enemy are, this could be very... Now, this could prove interesting. The 10-pointer is a little bit isolated. Ooh, is he going for the skirmisher unit? He's not going to make it. Oh, no, he will.
Our men are running.
This 10-pointer is actually, the Russian may get focused down by more and one of the Swedish corps. At the same time, though, if he does get attacked, that means there's less Swedish here, and maybe they can actually make an attack. Now, I still don't know exactly what the plan is, what the plan would be. I mean, do the Russians have a good position? Should they stay put? Should they make an attack? You know, that's the question here. Obviously, the same for the Swedish. Do they have the LOCs to actually win this? Technically, the Swedish need to take this LOC as well, I think, because right now that's 8-7, if I'm not mistaken. So by LOC, you know, ooh, I actually see a corps moving out. This looks very assaulty, very much spearhead-like. this is a weighty assault here. If this fails, Sweden can attack and probably outnumber the defense that Russia has. If this is successful, Sweden is toast. Now they are marching, if you notice, directly into 5 guns at least, as there's 3 12-pounders. I think there gotta be 12-pounders, if not higher. Surprised they're not trying to go for the flank here. But this is going, oh man, this is gonna be, gosh, I don't know about this assault, guys. I don't know. Artillery's gonna have a field day with these guys. They're hidden, or not hidden. And these guns are training on them, and I guarantee you these guns are aiming at them too in an open field like this. With them stacked up in columns like this, it's gonna tear through multiple lines of infantry. The carnage is gonna be unreal. These brave men going for the full-on assault, and here it's begun. It's already begun. The death, the bloodshed, and the infantry now firing in. Now we do have some cavalry potentially going to charge in here. Kasari is binding up this line so they cannot fire. And they are not even hesitating. Now this unit is already wavering. One more round of artillery fire. Oh, see what I mean? Tearing through multiple lines at once. Now this may be needed. The general definitely is needed. Denmark definitely should be used here. But here you go. You have a full-on Russian brawl, or at least an attempt at a Russian brawl. I'm kind of concerned about this assault, guys. They're gonna fire point blank into the Russian lines. This may be too much. All right, they make contact with the first of the Swedish. Cavalry needs to start running down infantry, otherwise Russia's just going to get shot in the face as they make their attack. But here they go. They're going to send in nice charge. That's a nice charge. Now they did get some shots off, so Denmark may lose that cavalry unit, but maybe not. They're starting to break. Sweden's starting to cave. Artillery, though, breaking at least one musketeer. If Russia does not silence them now, it is going to be over. Now you see they're actually counter-charging all along this line, or not counter-charging, just charging. Oh, the artillery going to get another round off. But here we go. That should be it for those guns. Now, Swedish cavalry in the lines, charging here. But look at this. Denmark capitalizing on this assault to get some charges in the back, and they can make some devastating back charges against the Swedish line. But you see, Russia definitely taking some losses here as they're making their attack. Several units have already started routing. Cavalry, though, from Sweden actually slowing down the line, but here we got another bayonet charge. Sweden, are they going to get a... Nope. Oh, that was a terrible charge. Sweden may actually fire. I mean, that's not intentional. That may just be if you don't get a good charge off, some of the units won't be engaged in melee and it won't be over. Now, I still see Russia committing to more and more of this line fight here, but you can see so many of their troops are starting to break. Oh, this is not going well. However, Denmark is going to hopefully start turning the tide here with their cavalry, as there's several Russian regiments that have broken. Sweden, though, having some units breaking as well. Nothing happening over there. 10-pointer pulling back here. And Russia is still going for that melee. Denmark trying to do their best. Cavalry charging the Swedish in the back. And Sweden's trying to save some lights so they can keep up that accurate fire. Russia, though, has made contact with their lines with more bayonet charges here. But, I mean, Russia's taking some pretty heavy losses here. I don't know how long they can sustain an attack like this. I mean, they have a lot of help, and they have broken a lot of the Swedish lines, and they do have more reinforcements pushing forward, so they are not spent in this attack. But Sweden definitely has some reinforcements still. Now, over here, the 10-pointer looks like he may actually finally take this fight. I mean, it's more with a couple Swedish units. He can charge in with some cavalry, maybe some line infantry as well. And don't worry, I'll come back to this. A square does get formed against this cavalry, these heavies, but here we go, a bayonet charge. This may be some of the elite Swedish line. Over here, Sweden is counterattacking here, as they have some reinforcements that have been pushed over here. Look at that, at least 5 new lines of infantry. But the 8-pointer getting himself finally into the fight, or he probably wasn't in the fight before, but he got the rest of his corps into the fight. Kaminsky did take the brunt of that first initial assault, so it is going to be up to the 8-pointer to continue it. And their center is looking a little weak here. Wow. This assault is not going well. These guys in square, this has to be some elite infantry. Has to be. They are taking on a lot of cavalry infantry and doing an excellent job here. Yeah, Russia's pulling back from this fight. I mean, they're definitely wasting a lot of Sweden's time here, so that hopefully they can make an attack here, but it's not looking too good, guys. It's not. Sweden got hurt, but they are still very much in this. And now it is their turn to make their assault. Oh, horse artillery finally being run down, but will they get a chance? Oh my gosh, no way. Well, they're still in it. They're wavering. Will they live? Yeah, they're gonna live. So this Denmark, for being such a small corps, guys, they have made some serious damage. They have inflicted some serious damage here. Now here we go. We got Sweden making an advance against a higher line of infantry, a higher numerical line of infantry. We'll see how well that goes. I don't know the stats between the two.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
But it's like now the coalition of Sweden and Britain are going to pull back towards the center where the fighting is still going on hotly. Looks like Russia's going to try to push the flank here. Man, it's a nice large... Ooh. Look at this line. These guys just holding the flank. These guys are probably fresh. Doesn't make for a very interesting fight now, so everything's kind of calming down a little bit. I think Russia at this point is just trying to go for a nice flanking charge. You can see he's circling around. He has his light infantry tying up the Swedish line, some skirmishers adding in. Hopefully they can hold a candle to this Swedish line. Those guys are pouring in some good fire. Ooh, that's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Gotta watch out for that Swedish heavy cav. You can see the howitzers trying to focus it as best they can. Oh, it'd be amazing if they killed a general. First Russia, at least, it'd be amazing if they killed a general. Alright, now the 10-pointer probably needs to get himself towards this center LOC. Now this is going to prove interesting. Look at this. They sent someone to cut off this LOC. Now, keep in mind, it won't matter. I don't know the rules. If it's leading into the outside of the map, does that count as a point for them? They just... I don't know. Things are calming down for a little bit. Man, hearing the cannonballs whistling overhead. I love that you can just hear the cannonball whistling. Look at that. Or listen to that, I should say. Yeah, the detail in this game, guys, for being such an old game, they did such an excellent job, even with the, I mean, of course, the modders have changed the sound effects a little bit, which I think is for the better. But, I mean, man, it's still programmed in there to make a sound. Even the cannonball makes a sound as it's whistling through the air. Not to be able to hit the fast forward button. I don't know if anything's going to happen for a little bit. I don't know if this is going to turn into an LOC only. I mean, Sweden may not want to attack again, and Russia may be scared to attack again because both sides took heavy losses, and they know whoever attacks next, if it doesn't go well, it's gone. You're going to lose. And with these tournament battles, you want to take the win even more than a normal match. That's the most lucky horse artillery I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't know, man. I may have to skip ahead, guys. I mean, if they're just gonna sit here shooting artillery at each other, I mean, it looks like some skirmishers are doing their thing. Where's this guy going? Yeah. I'm just gonna skip ahead, guys. When something happens again, I'll add, but I think everybody's kind of chilling. Or not. I mean, actually, they pointer going in again. Maybe he's gonna make that counterattack. That's for button C if anything presses or anything changes here. Let's see here. Sweden seems to have spread their lines pretty thin. So if Russia concentrates maybe in one area, they maybe can make, you know, but I mean, you can see Sweden's actually forming up here, actually going on the offensive a little bit, marching up to meet the enemy. Oh. Nah, they're not gonna make it. Oh, man. These guys are not hidden, that's the problem. Some of them are, well, I guess they're all hidden. But if they have cavalry coming up, guys, you know, some fresh cavalry on the field, maybe another corps, the 10-pointer. if the Swedish British don't realize there's nothing here, and the entirety of the Russian corps smash through the left, they take this LOC. I mean, that could be it. They have cavalry in their back. This is a bad position for Sweden to be in. They do not have a lot of cavalry protection. They are starting to pull back, though. I think they do realize that something not so good may happen to them very soon. It's like the impending doom. But are they going to fall back quickly enough and far enough? And over here we have this poor light infantry unit is probably going to get killed. I mean, there's 3 units on them. We keep hitting the fast forward button to see. Now look at this though, guys. So this is what I'm thinking. They're going to swing for the flank. Sweden will adjust reinforcements to the right to face this, or they're going to run away. At the same time, this 10-pointer can swing around and pincer. They're going to pincer from 2 sides here. This is actually potentially a beautiful strategy if they both get in position quickly enough. You can see already Kaminsky's pushing up here. With a 10-pointer swinging in here, the Swedish corps is going to die. Unless they have reinforcements here to react to the 10-pointer pushing. Either way, yeah, the 8-pointer outnumbers the Swedish. Cavalry's going to get engaged here. It's probably going to push in multiple units here, try to tie up some of the Swedish cavalry and make their assault. Now maybe they can bait the Swedish cavalry away from their lines of infantry, and that may be exactly what they're trying to do. Either way, Sweden's about to get a brutal charge, which if they can receive this well, which, oh man, they already are, it's gonna hurt. Now look at this, he's hovering. Sweden knows if he commits his cavalry, he's gonna get flanked and killed, so he's in a bit of a pickle here. And Russia's gonna start dropping as the fire, concentrated, insane fire of the Swedish corps is just gonna start tearing holes in the line. Looks like we had some artillery get charged by some Kazakis. The 10-pointer, was that friendly fire? Hard to tell, but either way, the 10-pointer's rolling in, so Sweden's gonna have to react to this. Cavalry finally gonna get in gear. You can see Russia's just unable to make a frontal assault. He needs cavalry to tie up these lines. There we go, it's been taken. The problem is, Russia can't go, you can see he keeps going for the flank, which is what he should do. He's not going for a frontal assault against Sweden. He keeps trying to swing around and get their flank. Both sides keeps marching further and further to the left and right. Or doing this. This is the only other thing that will work. Cavalry frontally charging into the Swedish lines, and that is a devastating charge. Now, of course, I think they formed a square. Still, you saw they knocked down majority of that line, and Russia can get themselves in there without taking any losses charging in against them. And there they go. Now they're going to have to frontally assault this Swedish line here, but Russia is in there. Now, of course, this charge could go quite terribly for the Swedish, or for the Russians. There we go. Russia going in again with another cavalry charge. They do, I believe, hit a square, but it should break. This is the only true way to get rid of the Swedish if you want to take them head on. And it's still costing a lot of lives for the Swedish, or for the Russians, sorry. But it's working. You can see it's working, and now they have a flank and an angle to work with. They're punching through. But here we go, the Swedish countercharge, tying up the Russian mass of infantry in the center. Making it very problematic for Russia to keep advancing here. And here we go. Denmark's going to try to answer. Here we go. A frontal charge and cavalry in the back lines. They hit a square, but that is going to save this line infantry to be able to make their charge.
Our men are running, sir.
What are they doing? Just lagging. That's weird. That is not how it should go. That's probably very frustrating for that person. That is very odd. Either way, Russia is still tied up with their cavalry here, meeting the Swedish cav. Oh, they break them. They absolutely break, and they're smashing through. Now, reinforcements from more pushing forward here, getting themselves in this fight. Line infantry, though, triumphantly carrying their way through the reserve line now. This right side holding quite well, though. This is a very stubborn Swedish resistance on the right. Let's see if this Grenadier unit can get some nice charges off. And they're in it. Ooh.
Our men are running, sir.
Yeah. All right, well, he still has some of his core left. He does. He has not lost all of his core. And you can see those. I mean, Sweden's going on the offensive. This should be frustrating. Like, there's nothing you can do against them. They can outshoot you. You need to get into melee with them, and it's a struggle to get into melee with them. That would probably be very, very frustrating. Man. Denmark still, I mean, they're doing an excellent job. They're making...
Now they must break.
Who was that? That was the 7-pointer. Killed in action. Now, there's nothing they can do against this right flank. This poor Grenadier unit's probably going to get, yeah, run down now. Despite getting hit so many times, the Swedish keep bringing up fresh reserves and going. It would be a maddeningly frustrating battle if you were actually there and you were like, man, we're breaking through them, and you just see fresh reinforcements just march up to the field. This may be the Russians' only hope here. Surprised they're not sending in the cavalry first. See if they can at least... No, this guy's gonna break. Oh, are they going for it? These guys have the firepower on their side. This entire battle, I've seen the Swedish just shoot beautifully in comparison to the Russians who just can't shoot.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Gosh. Absolutely brutal. The fact that it's, I mean, 4 units, or even 3, it's only 2, technically, 2 units pushing an entire corps away is just insane. But 6 minutes left. I don't know. The Russians are definitely going to pull back here. They can't take this fire. Now when it comes to LOCs, I do believe they have 1, they have 8. To the, I believe this is only 1, it counts as 1, and this counts as 1, this counts as 1, so that's 7 to 8. Yeah, so it's gonna come down to 1 LOC, which the Russians can't really push on. They have to push on it though. You see, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're rolling down the road here. Cavalry's going in, trying to break this up. Here we go, cavalry and infantry. This is the only way they're gonna be able to tie this up. They have to tie it up this way. Oh my gosh, they're firing so fast. Send another one. Go in, send cavalry, send cavalry. And a counter charge from Sweden. Oh, they form a square. Beautifully done. Now cavalry is going to try and reinforce this. Back charge these Swedish. Oh, this is getting intense. So little time left, guys. So little time left. This Swedish infantry may save this. Man. That's Grenadiers, though, so they rally. A general's... No, wait. Oh, nice countercharge, flanking charge on the Swedish line here. Denmark trying to do their best here, but man, their lines are starting to shake. More musketeers here. Man, look at this. These cycling troops out. This one line just keeps receiving one charge after another Oh, this is an elite line. Guarantee you. This is some of the best that Sweden can offer. Even the general, if they kill a general, it could be all over for Sweden, though. Nope. I don't think they're going to do it in time. I truly don't think it's going to... Oh, man. So close. They were so close. With the British on their flank, it will be 1 point difference. So, man, what a hard-fought battle, you know? Like, very hard fought. Oh, come on, get yourself in there. Charge these guys. Just, oh, wait, they're forming a square. They're sending in some musketeers. This is insane. This unit has held for so long. The hammer and anvil. The British are there to support this fight, though, so it probably won't matter. They have to... Oh, no, they have 52 seconds. There's no way. You see, though, the urgency, they are pushing as best they can here, but...
Yes, sir. Our men are running, sir.
These guys are exhausted. They have a fresh reinforcements, but Britain is going to charge in here. They're going to be exposed in the flank. And... Oh, man, how are these guys even still in this? It's combat general, but still. Yeah, there's no way. Man, what a fight, though. What a fight. They both had some very severe obstacles to deal with. And at the very end, though, the Rhinebund clan, the Swedish side, managed to hold the LOCs. It came down to LOCs, though, for this fight. And look at this. So this was the Bucks out in the 10-point here. His artillery got the most kills. Let's pull up the results. So you can see on the Rhinebund side, you have Red Viper. He was a 9-pointer. You got 1488 for the kills. You have Andre as the 4-point more, only 384, but he was a smaller core and he kind of just danced around with the 10-pointers, so that's to be expected. Razor 1027, he was the 8-pointer. You have Violet 506 for the kills. He was a 7-pointer. On the other side, you have TT Ross as 6-point to Kaminsky. Took that first frontal assault, and you got 712 kills. Took some heavy losses in that assault, though. You bring back Militia. He was the 10-pointer with 715. You have Bordeaux 643, and he was the 8-pointer. And then you have Peter Begratchen, the Hessen Kessel 4-pointer, Denmark, and 494 for the kills. But you'd see he had a force of 445 men, so I'd say like a cavalry corps. And I think he did an excellent job of supporting his allies as a 4-pointer, honestly. I kind of liked the play style of a Denmark Cav Corps, as it were. So, but GG's and another victory for Rheinbund. But anyway, guys, that will be the battle today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for the support, as always. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Glad to have you. Hope you stick around for future replays, as, you know, we always have fresh replays. There's a lot of content, always. That's the beautiful thing about this mod. The community around this mod, they're always playing games. If you want to play games, I'd recommend going to the Lord's Discord. I do believe I have it linked in videos, but I'll double check. And just join the VC. And when people are in there, or game advertisements, you can read rules. There's guides there. It's a perfect place for anybody that wants to play this mod. Best place, in my opinion. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.